a stoic burger man and his semi-struggling restaurant, a burly mountain man and his boat. What do we find when we pit these two patriarchs against one another? Well, I assume that's why you're here, that or my video appeared in your watch next and you're too busy washing dishes to skip. Regardless, I'm the Bobist, and today I'll be comparing Bob Belcher and Beef Tobin to see who I believe comes out on top in the character department. Obviously, this isn't the Film Theory channel, so I'll not be calculating if the hairs on their head blow properly according to physics and the climate conditions in their respective regions, but I'll do my best to give a reasonable assessment. I've made my decision based on a number of 4 categories: personality, love life, immediate family relationship, and town relationship. From longest night to longest day, it's Belcher versus Tobin, beef versus beef. So let's kick things off with the man who has a 14-season resume, Bob Belcher.
Is this what you want? Are you happy now? Yeah? That's good? You want it to come out? You want to do this right now? That's classic. That's classic you, turkey baster. Not fitting in the drawer. Deliberately not.
Any corner of the internet that knows me is a corner that knows how much I love Bob, when just 5 years ago I'd probably called him the most boring character in history of television. That tune quickly changed when I realized just how much of a great dad, husband, and all-around family man he truly is.
You're all fired.
I deserve this. I've been coasting.
This isn't punishment. It's a gift. My dad made me work all the time, and that box of toys.
Horrible toys.
Yes, horrible toys made me realize that I never had any fun. So I want you to go out and have the summer and the childhood that I never had.
That said, it can't be denied that he carries himself with a very monotonous air and smiles about very little, which is hard to avoid when being voiced by H. John Benjamin. Bob finds himself being uninterested in most people and things, but as I mentioned in my very first Bob's Burgers video, what is this quality? I think that's what makes his character so special, because when he does find interest in something, he's extremely passionate about it. Among these proclivities, cooking is his greatest, and nothing greater than his passion for Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving episodes of Bob's Burgers are a staple, and Bob would lose literally half his charm without them.
Come on!
You're the one!
Come on!
You are the one!
That turkey is our mom now.
Even beyond that, this usually leads to another fun thing about Bob's personality, and that's his tendency to make inanimate objects talk.
I have an idea.
What is it, Zucchini?
You could kill Jimmy Pesto.
Yeah, I could kill him. What?
Can you leave the oven light on for me? I get scared.
So cute. Here's the light.
That's too bright.
And that's just a couple of great things about Bob. Whether it's his business and its burgers, the stomp parody known as Cake, or one of his favorite shows such as Banjo or Hawking Chick, it's very clear when Bob's a fan of something more than just his family. Like I said, I love Bob, but I do wish he would enjoy himself more often, not only because I find joy in it, but the man deserves it.
Nobody likes me.
Sure they do. Have a shot. You'll feel better.
I don't feel like a shot, Len.
No, do a shot. It makes you more fun. People will like you.
I don't want to do shots.
I paid for 5 shots. We're doing 5 shots. Go.
I'm likable.
Yeah.
I know I am.
No, you have friends.
The kids like me.
Right,
Teddy likes me.
Teddy likes you.
My dad hates me.
Not that again.
If anything, he appears to have more personality in the end credits than he does in the actual show. Gotta find me some of that, lead us not into temptation. But I made it clear before that his reaction in I Love You So Much Is Scary is one of the major reasons I got into the show. It was such a great family moment that I had no choice but to want to know more about Bob and the Belcher family.
Oh my God, are you the cucumber guy?
Yes, I guess that's me.
I can't believe I'm meeting you. You haven't been posting. Is everything okay?
The cucumber's still going strong.
Jeez, I hope you post a few more pictures.
Well, you can come by and see it if you want.
Really? Oh, wow. Can I bring someone?
Sure.
Teddy, you're not gonna believe this. You're going to the cucumber guy's basement.
What? What?
I hope you're enjoying your drink.
Oh, I am.
You're welcome.
I don't follow.
I invented cups.
You invented cups?
Oh, yes.
Is this a joke?
Also, I know you're Hillary Clinton. I can't wait to wriggle that skin suit off you back at my place.
Beef Tobin. If anything, I can say he's just as much a family man as Bob, but maybe even more so. What's more is they do have a similar way of monotone speaking, but there are notable differences. He definitely smiles a lot more often than Bob, and his speech does tend to have varying degrees of pitch and inflection by comparison.
We'll hit him with the classic Tobin charm, and the deal will be closed before we even get the menus. Come on, let's get down to toe business.
Let's talk about your needs.
I know what I need. Mozzarella sticks.
One thing I'm a huge fan of is when brutish or manly looking characters are sensitive or do adorable things, and though that is sometimes one of my favorite things about Bob, I find Beef to be a lot more sensitive in that respect and definitely adorable. I mean, the man wears a onesie to bed and just listen to him giggle.
I don't enjoy this. I'm not a puppy.
I swear, every time he giggles, an angel gets its wings. I mean, come on, those sounds come out of this mouth. Speaking of which, I've watched my fair share of Parks and Recreation, and Ron Swanson was probably my least favorite character. So hearing him even as a cartoon was initially very off-putting. But the things he's done with his character has allowed me to appreciate him a lot more. So don't cancel me, Nick. I have like no influence here. While exasperation is one of Bob's many character-defining traits, it's actually one that's found quite rarely in Beef. He's been found enjoying himself chopping logs, fishing, or just breathing the Alaskan air. Beef has his hobbies for sure, but as a sort of quintessential lumberjack, his passion for forestry is made all too apparent.
Hey, Dad, did you see this indoor plant?
That is an abomination. We are gonna get you out of here, buddy.
If I had to address any shortcomings, I'd say it's his inability to deal with change, such as when his daughter Judy gets a job, or when his son and daughter-in-law Wolf and Honeybee want to move out into the guest house.
I'm upset about other stuff. Namely, that Judy's got another job and Wolf wants to move across town.
It's the backyard.
But the family usually helps him work through it, and he always comes to terms.
Dad, listen, we don't want to run away. We love being on the boat. We just love other places too, and other things, and that's normal. You don't have to let us go.
I just have to let you pursue
Whoa.
outside interests.
Oh, I went for the rhyme there, but yeah.
Does that mean you're okay with me and Honeybee moving into the guest cabin?
You have my blessing.
But he can't be completely faulted for it, considering that he's been betrayed by some of the most important people in his life, such as his ex-wife Kathleen or even his parents.
When I was a kid, my parents were a bit, what's the word? Completely absent.
There are obvious similarities between Bob and Beef, but there's more to love about Beef that pushes him just a bit further in this category. Point, Beef Tobin.
Vroom, whoosh.
I think I could squeeze half a glass out of this.
Don't though, right?
Right, I'm just gonna suck on the rag once real quick. Oh God, that rag's disgusting.
I love you.
Bob Belcher is in perfect love with his wife. They say opposites attract, but humans aren't magnets. But if there is any truth to the adage, then Bob and Linda are the proof. These two have the most inspiring relationship on television, and probably even the real world, I dare say.
I can't sleep.
Yeah, me neither.
It's too quiet now.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm not used to you not snoring in the middle of the night.
Same here. I guess you're my white noise. Listen, Bob, I think you're just coming on a little strong with Steve. You gotta play hard to get.
You think so?
Yeah, give him a bit of a chase.
All right, I can do that.
That's it.
You want some of this?
Yeah.
Well, you can't have it.
If you look beyond the bright colors and comedy of the series, the reason that these two work is extremely practical. Bob is an introvert who expresses himself through his craft, a craft that was nearly diminished when he was a child, and the trauma from that just kinda stuck with him. So for Bob, Linda is all the extroversion that he needs. His adventure is right at home.
Whoa, you just looked right into my eyes.
See?
Oh my God, he just raised his paw. How you doing? Let's put a hat on him.
All right, you hear that, El Diablo? We're coming for you.
All right, let's just keep this a secret from the kids, right? We don't want him coming in here and getting bitten.
Aw, baby's getting rabies.
But even more than that, Linda is thoroughly supportive and also pushes him from his comfort zone to do things he ends up enjoying. Bob didn't want to go to the high school reunion. He ended up loving it. He didn't want to do the live action role play. He loved it.
The servants are gonna revolt.
I see. Interesting. Sure, the servants have been mistreated. No one's going to argue that. But we're all experiencing life in one of the great American houses.
Will you stop pointing that thing around when you talk? Doesn't make you sound smarter.
Yes, it does.
And that's just a couple of examples of him enjoying something he thought he'd hate. But at the same time, Linda is the proverbial free spirit who can sometimes go overboard, but Bob definitely balances her out and keeps her from going overboard. She needs Bob's docile nature because dealing with people like her sister Gail, her mom, and Gretchen can be exhausting. Linda's family is even louder than she is. That whole family is just one big mess.
We didn't think you were serious about the Ottoman. Of course I was serious. It was an incredible idea. Also, I was yelling for you to let me out. We're hard of hearing.
Huh?
Al, we're talking about the Ottoman.
I gave my slippers in there.
Linda herself has almost no chill, but her chill is right at home. Money and material aren't any part of the driving force of their relationship, so long as they're able to maintain the life that they built for one another as complete and utter equals. Sure, they have their less than cheerful moments, but that's to be expected. They are human after all. But as far as perfection goes, this relationship is as close to it as possible.
Did you come to surprise us, but then you got caught up in the chanting?
Yep. Did Louise get you in trouble with security?
Yep. See you at home?
Yep.
This doesn't mean she'll show up, okay? You know what she's like. She's a flake. She would have missed my birth if it was medically possible.
Kathleen Tobin is, and I am sorry to be so explicit, awful. The Great North has spared no expense in conveying to us just how terrible a person Kathleen is. I mean, it's so bad that Beef would rather pretend that the woman died rather than accepting that she left him for another man in Pennsylvania.
If only being a saint was enough to stop her from being eaten to death by a bear on her way to buy medicine for the children's hospital.
The children's hospital accepts donated medicine?
And it's not as if it was a secret. The kids knew she wasn't dead. It was just the easiest way for poor Beef to cope with the betrayal. Another change that his daughter Judy and the family eventually helped him work through.
Dad, we know Mom's not dead, but you didn't lose her. She left, and it's not because of something you did or something we did. She just wanted to leave.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She's in Pennsylvania.
We only ever see Kathleen through a few flashbacks and have no idea how she currently looks, but with that said, the destructive essence of her presence is made thorough through Tobin dialogue.
Guys, she's not here, and you're not her. You don't have to feel bad about the things she did.
This idea was brought to a head in the season 1 finale, My Fart Will Go On adventure, where Beef's son of Wolf married his lovely honeybee. Beautiful wedding, by the way.
Bring a beautiful honeybee.
In this episode, the Tobins accidentally invited Kathleen to Wolf's wedding, to which she RSVP'd, and the entire family almost had a panic attack. Hell, Beef did have a panic attack.
Hello, children. I was just taking a nap, but I am fine now. I've pushed all the other naps I want to take deep down so they won't ruin Wolf's upcoming wedding.
Spoiler alert, both because this is a spoiler and sarcastically because no one was surprised that she didn't show. And even though no one wanted her there, Wolf and the kids were still hurt by her absence.
I know what you're going through, but look around. Everyone that's supposed to be here is. This is a good day. It is Kathleen who is missing out.
Since accepting Kathleen's betrayal, Beef has pined after multiple women, and this shows yet another thing I like about him, being that he doesn't seem to discriminate based on appearance. He's seen flustered over a homely poet, Gil Beaver's mom, and Judy's boss, Allison. Wait, Dale's not Gil's mom? How is that even possible?
Season 2, episode 1.
You mean this woman? So you're telling me Dale and Gil, same hair color, the only two characters in the show with this skin color, Dale at Wolf's wedding, where we see one Gil Beaver's head, the same boy dancing just inches away from Dale at the end, and you're telling me that this is his mother? This? Nah, screw that.
Drop into the Gil zone.
I say Gil's father had a frosty affair with Dale, but Mrs. Beavers was such a kind lady that he couldn't bring himself to tell the tale for fear of slicing her in twain. Bam! Gil.
Drop into the Gil zone.
Or maybe Gil's mom wasn't able to have her own child, so they hired Dale as a surrogate. But poor sweet Miss Beavers was far too unattractive. Mr. Beavers couldn't handle plain Jane jeans being half of Gil. Not my son, the so far faceless man exclaimed. So they fertilized one of Dale's eggs instead, unbeknownst to poor Miss Beavers. Bam! Gil.
Drop into the Gil zone.
I'll tell you what CBS stands for. Cheating. Vile. Snake.
You dropped into the Gil zone.
Well, maybe Gil was adopted. Huh? Back to Beef Tobin. The few women after whom he's pined couldn't be any more different than one another, so we can definitely cross Shallow off the list.
Hello, my name is Greta Meatweep.
Well, Greta, it is greater to meet you. I'm Beef Tobin. This is my moon son.
But of the three, none deserve to have his heart more than Allison. Voiced by Megan Mullally, who also voices Gail Gennaro. These two have flirted with each other more than once, Allison more than Beef, and I absolutely love it.
You know, the steadiest part of the human body is the mouth.
My God.
Great costume. Since when did they put the tail in the front? I hope you don't mind I took the liberty of throwing in a bow for an extra $3.68. Oh, I'm sorry. Make that 69.
Did you say 69?
I clearly said 69. Oh, wait, it's 70.
Good Lord, that's a huge relief.
Oh, wait. No, it was 69.
Damn it.
How much is it? Tell me again. Was it 68 or 70?
It was 69 on the dot, and you know it.
God help me.
Mercy. Short of Alanis Morissette descending from Judy Tobin's imagination, there's no perfect woman for Beef than Allison LeFebvre.
Miss Lefebvre.
But until the day those two tie the knot, Bob takes this category with ease because it's crystal clear that he loves his woman and she loves her man. Point, Bob Belcher.
We had a one-night stand of sex.
Oh yeah, one night stand of sex. We're just friends who bond. One night stand of sex. One night stand of sex. Oh, sex.
I hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. I mentioned in my last upload that I wanted to expand my channel to cover the Great North, and I figured that doing a video on both shows would be the best way to ease into it. So for those of you who have yet to get into the show, I hope these little bits are enough to light a blue flame under the kettle. Comment and subscribe and stuff.
Having kids isn't that bad. I mean, I've spent all day doing this extremely inconvenient favor for Critter, but being with my kids actually made it kind of fun.
Oh, that's you're welcome.
Haha, you like your kids.
We know that Bob loves his wife, but I'm not sure if he loves his kids even more. Tina, Jean, and Louise Belcher seem to almost embody the traits of both parents. Tina is very much like Bob if you take away her boy craziness. Jean is very much like Linda, and Louise is probably what Linda would be if she didn't have Bob to rein her in. There are multiple videos on YouTube about Bob being a great father and the best TV dad, and that's mostly because he lets his kids be who they want. Whether it's Tina and her aforementioned boy craziness, Jean and his music or questionable sexual identity, or Louise being just plain chaotic, Bob is never there to stand in their way. I mean, he even strangely let them have glances at the nude beach in town.
Nude beaches are full of overweight, out of shape, old bodies, and I don't want to go there and realize I look exactly like that.
But with Bob being Bob, it sometimes creeps into the way he reacts to the things his kids do. He's mostly unbothered by their shenanigans, but you can definitely tell when they're getting on his nerves.
Unbelievable.
Gene?
Bob.
All right, enough.
Enough.
I'm not doing this.
Yes, you are.
No, oh my God.
He's really good. He's good.
He's not good, Lynn.
He's not good, Lynn.
He's good.
I don't know.
Gene!
What, Bob?
Lynn!
What?
Gene!
Lynn!
Lynn! I'm leaving!
I guess you could say he can also be a little lazy, like when Tina went to go babysit and he and Linda did absolutely zero checks on those people.
Oh my God, Bob, we should have checked to make sure these people aren't murderers.
What?
Oh, right. Is there a way to do that, or?
There may be an app, I don't know.
What?
Never mind, it's probably fine.
Yeah, odds are totally fine.
She'll be all right.
But to his credit, Seymour's Bay is a town with a relatively low crime rate, it seems, so the odds of her being unsafe are slim to none. The only other sort of weakness I can imagine is he sometimes avoids confrontation with the kids and would rather just let them be rather than crack the whip. Like how Jean sometimes goes overboard or Louise quarter-assing her science fair project.
Louise, shouldn't you just do a new project like you're supposed to?
Why?
I don't know, to learn something?
You learned something.
Okay, honey, good luck with your volcano.
But when it all comes down to it, he's the greatest dad when he feels he needs to be and often gives solid advice to the kids whenever they're in emotional turmoil.
If doing this play is making you say something you don't believe in, then maybe you shouldn't do it.
Even if I said I would?
Yeah, because whether you kiss anyone or not, you're in charge of your own mouth, who you kiss with it and what you say with it.
There are a couple things that Bob can do better, but if there was a Father of the Year award, he'd have won it a long time ago.
You said you'd be running the restaurant.
Oh no, I was just saying.
You're taking over the family business?
Yeah, right.
Ha! Admit it. You look up to me.
No! Oh, you are ruining our perfect day right now.
Oh my God, am I your hero?
The past will always be there, haunting you to the grave. But when you come to Crocodile Rob, you can catch a happy wave. Sit right down and grab a plate, 'cause when you're in Crocodile Rob, it's the workers' mate.
I've come to love the Tobin family over the last couple months. I feel I know them as well as I know the Belchers, and after watching Bob's Burgers, I thought it was impossible for there to be a more wholesome family, but I was so wrong. Judy, Moon, Wolf, and Ham Tobin. Seriously, what's with the monikers? When are we gonna learn these kids' birth-giving names? We've had 4 seasons, ladies. Who are you protecting them from? It's quite rare that Beef has any major disagreements with the family. The most notable of the few is in one of my favorite episodes, Cold Enough Said Adventure, which is actually one of the most humorous episodes.
There they go. Look out, Jerry. Get him, Moon, get him.
We like a little family discourse here and there. As adorable as Moon can sometimes be, I was just ready to see him eat Ham whole. And I just want to go on record here saying that Moon is absolutely not a carbon copy of Louise. Most people immediately make that assumption because of his bear pajamas, but while there are some similarities, Moon is quite a bit different in ways. For example, Louise is 9 years old and Moon is 10. How about that? I'm kidding, there's more, but I digress. Though Bob is very supportive, when he doesn't like an idea, he makes it well known and the stress is clear. Speaking of Moon, there are 2 situations I can cite where he wanted to do something that Beef didn't immediately agree with, but rather than showing disagreement, Beef left the ball in his court in the most amicable way possible.
It has come to my attention that I'm the only one of my friends who has not been allowed to stay home alone.
Perhaps opening night of the musical would be an ideal time for me to test the waters.
I'll need to see a full presentation of your plans.
Of course.
You know, son, if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that you've attempted to change your appearance and are now planning to go on the lam so that a certain frenemy doesn't punch you.
Great guess, but don't try to stop me. This is the only way now.
Well, I'm sure you're right. Do you have everything packed that you need?
Yep. Just need to burn off my fingerprints and eat my SIM card.
Wonderful. Now, before you run away and live a life of adventure, walking the highway and hustling pinball at truck stops, I wonder if you can just take one more look at your problem from a different angle. You might find the answer is closer than you think. So give it a think before you head out and never see us again, okay, bud?
These were wonderful ways for him to make Moon feel that he was 100% in support of his choices while still being a great dad about it. Speaking of support, it's a well-known fact that Beef's son Ham is gay. I mean, he's only come out 100 times.
I'm gay.
We know, son, and we love you just the way you are.
I am gay. I am gay. I am gay.
Ham, we know. You've come out to us a bunch of times.
I have.
Yes, and we love you just the way you are, damn it!
Well, thank you for being an ally.
We find the only reason that he says it so much is because Beef and the family were just far too accepting. He didn't get some big dramatic coming out like he's heard people, including his boyfriend Crispin, get.
Did we do something wrong?
No! You guys did everything right. You didn't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, you did it too right.
The Tobin spared no time giving him a full-on redo of his coming out, and just look at how happy Beef was to do this for him.
Places, people.
And it's not to say that Bob wouldn't be supportive if one of his kids were gay. I mean, hell, obviously Gene is something multicolored, but it's just awesome to witness that kind of support unfold.
We love you just the way that you are.
Come to think of it, I didn't get a big reaction when I came out either.
Hello.
Hello, mother.
Hello, son.
I have a question for you, my love.
Yes.
Can we do a, can I have a redo on my coming out?
Wait, what?
I want a redo on my coming out.
Coming out meaning as you letting me know that you are part of the LGBTQRSTUP.
And sometimes why? Yes, ma'am. Okay, I understand. You must be confused. Allow me to explain. When I came out, okay, so I'm 32 now. I came out when I was 14, and I didn't get a big reaction or a musical or.
Oh shit! You ain't up to old. Ain't no musical here. I'm just at. Okay, yay!
Well, Ham Tobin got a musical, mama. So let me explain to you. This is how it's gonna have to work, okay? I need someone who, there's got to be someone who simply can't believe it, and a shattered precious item. One of your many decorative alcohol bottles, perhaps.
You said shattered.
That's what I said.
You sure ain't getting old. Now that ain't happening.
Oh! Everyone must come to a standstill, even the bird on the windowsill.
Oh, well, I can't control the bird, but you want I'll sit still and quiet for a moment.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that yes, ma'am, this is going on YouTube. Okay, love you. Thank you for
going on YouTube.
Thank you for being an ally. Also worth mentioning, Beef's not an only child. His brother Brian is a largely successful business owner of a hot tub company in Anchorage. Usually when there's a sibling who's not within arm's reach, they have some sort of a strange relationship, but Beef and Brian have a wonderful relationship.
Get in here. You can press send. That's the fun part.
Another one.
Click like a pro, Beef.
Beef has an unrealistically healthy relationship with his family, and I'm here for every moment of it. Which says a lot for a single-parent household because we've seen how that works in Bob's Burgers. And it's for that reason that this category goes to the great patriarch of the Tobin family. Point, Beef Tobin.
What's up with him? He usually loves talking baked goods.
He was probably just laughing to cover a fart. Oop.
Who decides which way we go? There's Linda, my wife. Hey, Linda, you look mad. Let's go the other way. Turn around. Bye, Linda.
Seymour's Bay is a relatively small oceanside town, and everyone pretty much knows everyone. And everyone who's anyone probably knows Bob. Like me, Bob is a shut-in. He goes almost nowhere unless it's a special occasion, picking up the kids, working the restaurant, or in the apartment above it.
Apartment? Gross.
But on those special occasions, it's nice to see Bob interact with other people. Although he claims not to like people, he seems to always thrive in a group. I mentioned again the reunion and the Winthorpe Manor lark. but also add the chef group, the Equesticles, and the frat guys.
I'll do whatever. I'm in it for the long haul, brothers.
Yeah, we need Bob now more than ever.
Yeah, Bob's one of us.
All right, it's fine. Thanks, Bob. You're in.
Let's get him!
Yeah! Since Bob's mom died at a young age and he's an only child, his father, Big Bob, was the only person that he could really interact with, and we know he wasn't that great of a father. Moreover, I think this is what turned Bob into such a shut-in because being outside seemed almost forbidden. Work was all Bob knew and all he knows, so while it definitely did give him the greatest passion of his life, his upbringing undoubtedly limited his social skills.
I'm never interested in people. I don't like people that much. I don't really like that about myself, and I guess I really admire that about you.
I tend to think of the way that people take to Bob and enjoy him almost immediately, but then I realize this sometimes happens because people seem to be completely oblivious to his disinterest in their company. But that oblivion lets Bob unwind and enjoy them equally. Yep, oblivion works here. I googled it, so... But on the flip side, there are obviously those who dislike Bob. There's Jimmy, Hugo, Edith and Harold, Mr. Fromm probably, Cynthia, Chuck, Mr. Dowling, Hilda. You know what? No. That's too many people that got a problem with my man, Linda's man. Y'all got the names and the faces. You know what to do.
Write down their names! Write them down!
To make matters worse, even those who do like and respect Bob end up betraying him in the older games. Understandable that it was to protect their livelihood, but still.
We were gonna work together, but no! You wanted to play this stupid game, and now you all lose!
But when the chips are down, be it friend or foe, next to Wonder Wharf, Bob's Burgers seems to be the establishment at the heart of the town.
Bob's Burgers is more than an undiscovered gem. It's truly a one-of-a-kind mom-and-pop shop. Celebrity chef Skip Maruch swears that Bob serves the best burger he's ever eaten. We wouldn't know. We didn't try the food. But we did have a rather unique and strangely inspiring experience while we were there. This shabby little dive seems to hold a special spot in this dingy town's heart.
The restaurant might not be the most financially successful, but when people want a burger, a good American burger, they have no place else to go but Bob's Burgers.
Toilet Bob! Toilet Bob!
It worked.
It finally worked! I'm free!
Whoa, pins and needles. Can't feel my legs. Going down.
Hi, Father Dugan.
Hey, Londra. Working hard or hardly working?
She was clearly working hard.
The town of Lone Moose is home to a number of Alaskan fisher folk. It's 2024. We can't say fishermen. Let's keep it PC, people. But no fisher person has more passion for their work than Beef Tobin. Beef has most likely contributed to feeding the entire town. Contrast to Bob, Beef's job demands that he be outside frequently. This almost requires that he establishes a relationship with various people. At first glance, it might seem that he too has a dislike for people, but the more I watch the series, the more I find that not to be true. He's apparently just really bad at small talk.
This weather, right?
Yeah, if you don't like it, just wait a minute. It'll change.
Well, that's not true.
Beef?
I mean, good one. Now I will say one. Take my wife, please. JK, my wife left me.
That was a little better.
Now, where shall I sit? Here?
What is he doing?
What are you pointing at, big guy?
I don't know. I'm panicking.
Beef tends to handle really well with people unless the plot calls for him to be more standoffish or awkward. And that's the word, isn't it? Awkward. He doesn't dislike people, he just finds it hard not to be awkward around them due to what I call more than mild social anxiety, but less than chronic. When Beef interacts with people, it never feels like a chore and there's hardly ever a sigh or an eye roll. But you get the sense that he enjoys these interactions and would contribute more were it not for what Kathleen did to him and again his abandonment issues.
The trouble is, I find good memories to be more painful than bad memories. I feel like the fun people always leave. Kathleen, my parents, and I think I avoid small talk because it leads to big talk. And that leads to friendship. Next thing you know, you're having 4 kids with someone who will leave you. It feels like the good times are always ending, and you never know if there are going to be more around the bend.
To further drive home this contrast between Beef and Bob, take 2 very similar episodes. For Bob, we'll take a look at the episode Are You There, Bob? It's Me Birthday, where he was dreading a surprise birthday party because as an introvert, he just can't be bothered with a bunch of people in his home.
Oh, I really don't want to go to a surprise birthday party.
You don't? Why not?
I don't like surprise parties or non-surprise parties.
And now to the Great North episode titled Pawshank Redemption Adventure. In this episode, Beef was dreading a surprise birthday party and thought many people in town was in on the celebration.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
He hated the idea so much that he committed a light misdemeanor to get arrested and thrown in jail.
Sorry, Beef. You're in for 24 hours.
Oh, it's okay, Edna. No hard feelings. It's my party, and I'll be in jail if I want to.
But we find that Beef's reason for not wanting a party is quite a bit different.
When I was a kid, I liked my birthday, and I hoped people would celebrate it, but they never did celebrate it. My parents, I mean. So, somewhere along the line, I resolved myself never to get my birthday hopes up again. And so every year, I don't let anyone celebrate me. Because I figure if I never get my hopes up, they'll never get crushed.
He's such a tragic character. I'm not crying, my glasses are. I just need to. Turns out in both okay, I need these. Okay. Turns out in both episodes, neither of them got a surprise party. And for Bob's Burgers, it was because Jimmy Pesto pretty much convinced Linda that Bob wouldn't want one. And for the Great North, the kids just knew Beef didn't want one. When Lone Moose comes together, which has happened multiple times, its residents include Beef as one of the people on which they can depend. While with Bob's Burgers, it seems that when the town is in need, Bob is sort of a last resort. Now, of course, Beef has his enemies in town, but they seem to be few and far in between. The only few I can think of offhand are Vera, Craig Ptarmigan, and
Cousin Danica. As much as we would love to lie to the authorities on your behalf, I don't think we will. It's probably time for us to get going.
Well, I hate to do this, Beef, but you're not going anywhere, except to the cellar, as my hostages.
To be fair, Bob's Burgers has had over 200 episodes to establish both friend and foe alike, but the people that I mentioned earlier who were enemies of Bob, they were pretty much introduced within the first 4 seasons, so do with that info what you may. Beef's work may not be shown to be as much of an epicenter of the town as Bob's Burgers, but it's clear that Beef has a vastly more positive relationship with Lone Moose than Bob has with Seymour's Bay. Point Beef Tobin. You know what, guys? I'm not even about to lie. I've been sitting in this chair for far too long, and I'm not even about to try to memorize this last part of my script, so I'm gonna just read it right here on my phone. Let me see. What did I say? Okay, I said, yes, I know that for my Yes, I know that for my Bob's Burgers fans, this outcome might have been a bit disappointing, but I hope that God, I can't even read! But I hope that I've explained things well enough to make my decisions reasonable. Does this mean that I think The Great North is a better show than Bob's Burgers? No, not necessarily. The show has over a decade with which to contend. Oh my God! The show has over a decade with which to contend. But do I think The Great North is more wholesome? Absolutely. It is another one of those shows that people are probably going to hate because it's just too much kindness all around. But I seriously urge you to watch the show. Eye contact. I made a Facebook post that could probably say it better. You just gotta get used to it. The Tobins are like those kids in the cafeteria when you go to a new school. It's awkward at first and you can't be bothered, but after a few days you move toward being as familiar with them as you are with the kids from your other school, Bob's Burgers. Push past the unfamiliar... God, this is embarrassing. Push past the unfamiliarity, folks, because every episode is literally an adventure. I'm the Bobist.